What role plays European regions in this locational tournament? Are our regions in good positions to compete successfully with other world-class clusters? I think it's clear that we have vibrant zones of science and innovation. Some are mentioned here, but they are small. They are not large for sure, and European approach to clusters is still very small, timid, diffuse. The EU counts some 2,000 clusters, 70 national cluster policies, and hundreds of national programs. So, what is the problem? First, the public research system remains fragmented in Europe and nationally based, even we have a lot of good institutional innovation as it was just presented now. So, and this national fragmentation of Europe on knowledge on national base, this is a clear limit to agglomeration process and to the building of larger knowledge centers. With some very rare exceptions, agglomeration processes still operate within national systems, and the knowledge assets flows do not cross the borders. Fragmentation has thus prevented the natural development of knowledge hubs at global level. Without this fragmentation, we could imagine liberated agglomeration dynamics leading to the constitution of truly competitive centers at global level. Second problem, what we can observe is the tendency for countries and regions to try to do all the same things in R&D policy and envisage the future in a very similar fashion. They tend to despecialize. So in most regions, I would say that decision makers define priorities in a very unimaginative way. And this is not a trivial problem, because if you make the experience, you try to buy a technology foresight exercise for your region. Any kinds of this technology foresight exercise tend to produce the same ranking of priorities without any consideration for the context and specific conditions of the region for whom the exercise is done. And so this lack of imagination and vision produces a uniformization of the European knowledge base and the deterioration of what can constitute the originality and distinction of local knowledge base. And so the third and the result of all these things is that nationally based fragmentation of the public research system and the uniformization of priorities leave Europe with a collection of subcritical systems, all doing more or less the same things, and most of these systems are just unattractive and can't play in the arena of the global tournament for R&D localization. The cost of having no vision in terms of how can I position myself in the knowledge economy is obvious, both for Europe as a whole and for individual countries and regions. Of course, I mean, you have a lot of inefficiencies in terms of economies of scale, economies of scope, and spillovers. They are insufficiently realized, and this is the very determinant of R&D productivity. And the economic of agglomerations are dissipated. In fact, the economic logic of the locational tournament, so the fact that regions are attractive or not, is based on the scarcity of one resource. This is the economy of agglomeration themselves, and they are wasted in Europe, where too many sites try to capture the same resources. Now we can look at the European research area as a mechanism, as an initiative aimed at freeing agglomeration processes, integrating national systems to allow resources in the knowledge economy to circulate unhindered and go where they will gain the most benefits from the agglomeration effects. And the centers of excellence should be established to the advantage of some sites, while the remaining subcritical structures no longer protected by national borders will more or less disappear off the map. And so we can expect better economies of scale, scope, spillovers realized in this kind of space. We are here now, very nationally based fragmentation of the system. We want to go there.